Hello and welcome back to F1 22 Driver Career. My name's Chris.
How do you want us to deal with this one?
That was rude, I was talking. We've got an event going on here. What is this? Simulator. R&D believe they're on the verge of a major breakthrough. Sure, go for it. We're headed to Mexico today for the penultimate round in Season 2. We're currently leading the championship, but not by very much. And I don't know if we can win this here today, because we've got a sprint round as the finale. So there's quite a lot of points on offer. I think this is going to go down to the wire, if I'm being honest. Third best car on paper. Ferrari have the best car on paper, but they've not been showing it. So currently between myself and Max Verstappen, Sergio Perez is in the mix still. It's going to be a close one, I think. But if we can score some good points today, we can make our lives a little bit easier as we head into Brazil. But for now, let's focus on this weekend and the Mexican Grand Prix. Let's go qualifying. Okay, so onto the track we go for what will be our first flying lap in Q1. See how we get on, I suppose. Into the last corner, up to the line. What's it going to be? Sergio Perez setting the fastest time so far with a 1:17.2. We go P2 with a 1:17.6, so 4/10 off the fastest at the moment. We're going to go again. Want to make sure we definitely get through into Q2. Currently sat in ninth, so we'll probably be all right, but you know what happens in the final stages of a session. The AI tends to improve massively, so we're going to try. We've got fastest of anybody in Sector 1. Not quite the same in Sector 2. Is a personal best though. 2/10 up as we come into Sector 3 through the stadium section. Really tight, tricky corners here. 4/10 gained so far across the lap. Around the final corner. On the power as early as we possibly can be. And nice, almost 6/10 up there. And that should get us comfortably into Q2. And it does with a P4. Pierre Gasly and Lando Norris in the two McLarens topping the session then. And Sergio Perez just behind at his home Grand Prix, looking pretty spicy. Who are we losing then from Q1? It's going to be Kevin Magnussen, Mick Schumacher, Lance Stroll, Robert Schwartzman and Nicolas Latifi. Alex Albon in the Williams, getting himself through into Q2. That doesn't happen very often, so we'll see what he can do. As we head into Q2, we've already set a time, currently sat in 7th position, so potentially good enough to get us through, but we're going out a little bit earlier than everybody else to set our final flying lap. See, just 3 minutes left on the session. Everybody will start coming out onto the track. As you can see, they are doing so, but we are gaining time. Fastest of anybody in Sector 1. 5/10 up so far. Fastest of anybody in Sector 2. Into Sector 3 we go, the tight, twisty section of the stadium. Can we completely miss the apex? Apparently so. Still 6/10 up, that's good for us. 7/10. Clonk in the wall there. Glad we didn't get damage. And across the line for P3. What's it going to be at the end of the session? Are we into Q3? Yes, we are. P6. 4/10 off Max Verstappen, who tops that session. Carlos Sainz just behind by 3/100ths. And Pierre Gasly. The McLarens are flying. Lando's sort of fallen off a little bit, but the McLaren's absolutely flying. George Russell in Mercedes, that's surprising. He's out in Q2, as is Albon, Vettel, Tsunoda and Alonso. 12th though for a Williams. That's a very good qualifying for them, I would say. Into Q3 though. This is where it really matters. I'm going to come around to finish our first flying lap, sorry. Currently P2, only behind our teammate Esteban Ocon, as Ricciardo pops himself just above us. Back out onto the track. We're going slightly early again. What's it going to be then for the final lap as we head down into turn 1? Sort of on the cusp of gaining some time down the straight, which is always nice to see. Into turn 1. Slightly down on our previous lap, which is not ideal, but we are finding a bit of time. Making use of that sausage curb actually, just to unsettle the car a little bit and sort of rotate it. And that worked in our favour. Fastest of anybody in Sector 1. There's a bit of deja vu going on here. 6 tenths up so far. What are we going to do? Are we going to get anywhere near pole position? We haven't quite been on the pace. We missed that corner. We've gone super deep, so that's going to cost us a couple of tenths at least. You can see on the Delta, it did do that, so only 4 tenths improvement. I don't know if this is going to be good enough even for a top 5, to be honest. Losing all of the time in sector 3 as we come across the line. P5 so far, but everybody else is yet to improve, but we do hold on to it. We hold on to a P5. That's a good result. Esteban Ocon down in P8. On pole position, though, is Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz starting alongside him on the front row. Pierre Gasly in P3. Sergio Perez at his home Grand Prix in P4. We've got Lando Norris in 6th. He's sort of fallen off a little bit. I say that, he's barely just behind us, so the pace is good, but he's not up there with Gasly, so it's going to be interesting. Lewis Hamilton in P7. Daniel Ricciardo in P9. And Charles Leclerc in that Alfa Romeo, soon to be Audi. Absolutely flying, getting himself into Q3. Let's go racing.
Welcome to Mexico City, the most popular city in North America, and home, of course, to the Mexico City Grand Prix. It's a sellout crowd as usual here at one of the shortest circuits on the Formula One calendar. And who, I wonder, will they be cheering on the top step of today's podium? We're a long way above sea level here in Mexico today, which could pose some cooling issues for the cars as they make their way around this 2.6-mile lap. 17 corners with top speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour. And watch out for potential overtaking into turns 1 and 4. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. It's Carlos Sainz in pole position, and Marshall completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Verstappen, Lando Norris, they've taken a grid penalty, and Vettel, Gasly, Tsunoda, Magnussen, and Lewis Hamilton. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Ocon, Ricciardo, George Russell, and Albon. Latifi, Mick Schumacher, they've taken a grid penalty. Lance Stroll and Robert Schwartzman. Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez completes our grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today.
Okay, how was that pull away? We'll have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
Things you love to see. We have found ourselves on the front row alongside Carlos Sainz. Verstappen down in P4. Lots of grid penalties here in Mexico. As you would expect, it's good for overtaking because of the massive long straight. So we're going to have to capitalise on this and hopefully go for the win. Ideally, a good start, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts.
Leclerc in
Okay,
P3.
so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights.
It's going to be interesting as we wait for the 5 red lights here in Mexico. And we're underway. What kind of start are we getting off the line? It looked a bit wheel spinning. It is wheel spinning. We're going backwards. Charles Leclerc goes through. Max Verstappen's gone through. Norris is having a go. We've got Vettel on the right-hand side. Who's out on soft tyres? I didn't quite see that, but Tsunoda's up in the mix as well. Can we get ourselves back up the order into turn 1? Not quite. Charles Leclerc. Bit of contact. No damage, though. That was a bit hairy. We're going to sneak up the inside on Charles Leclerc through to turn 4, I think that was, as we head down the next straight. Max Verstappen, though, he wants the lead of this race from P4 on the grid. That's an incredible start for Max. Not great for us, though. We're going to have to hunt him down and just try and stick with these guys here. We're getting a bit boxed in by Sainz there, who's gone wide. And we're going to go round the outside of Carlos Sainz into P2. And now it's me and Max fighting for the race win. Charles Leclerc, though, in P4 in the Alfa Romeo. Unbelievable stuff here. Hopefully he can hold on to it. That would be a great result for him, especially as he won the championship in season 1. So he's obviously not going to do that this season. But Norris down the inside on Charles Leclerc. Didn't quite make the move stick, but he's going to have a look round the outside now as we go through the stadium. You can see Max is just pulling away ever so slightly. On board with Lando here. And what have we got? no overtakes at the moment. Max Verstappen out in the lead then as we head on to the second lap of the Grand Prix. Sainz right on our tail. Oh, there goes Vettel. Outbraking himself a little bit into turn 1. Who's going to come out on top of this one? Looks like Vettel. Oh no, Yuki has got a better exit on the corner. And as they go down into the next one, Sebastian Vettel is ahead. But look at this, side by side still. Esteban Ocon's thinking, I could take advantage of this. As we come down, there we go. Sebastian Vettel loses the place to Yuki Tsunoda. That's a good little teammate battle there. We're having a look here on lap 4. And we've outbraked ourselves, gone straight on, and we're going to have to cut the entire corner there. And definitely going to need to give that back. So we do that. Give back the place to Max Verstappen, and now Carlos Sainz is well back in the mix. I'd like to have another look at what happened there, actually. As Carlos Sainz makes his way round the outside of us. Are we going to hold on to this? I hope so. Carlos Sainz gone through. We go super wide, trying to hang it around the outside of Carlos, but we are going to have to concede the position, unfortunately, on this occasion. Yeah, Max Verstappen is in the lead. And Carlos Sainz now in second place. Here's what happened to me, though. As I tried to go for the overtake round the outside, I just braked way too late. There was no way I was going to stop in time. And so we decided to go straight across. And, yeah, definitely had to give the place back. Probably should have given the place to Sainz, thinking about it. But it is what it is. He got through anyway. We're going to have a go here back into turn 1 again. We thought about having a go, didn't quite make it stick on that occasion, but we're now on lap 6. Verstappen's still out in front, only 1.1 seconds though. We're going to get DRS from Sainz. Can we make our way past it? Plenty of battery to play with. Up the inside we go. And through we go side by side with Carlos Sainz. This isn't done yet. Bit wide there, but we do make it stick. Bit wobbly. Carlos is right there trying to have a go. And we're back up into second place. Hopefully now we can keep that second place, not make any more silly mistakes, and chase down Max. On to lap 7. And Sergio Perez is out of the Mexican Grand Prix. That's unfortunate. His home race. And he finds himself stricken at the side of the track. So we might get a safety car. We didn't. And on to lap 10. We are chasing Max hard now. We're just within 6/10. We're going to get the DRS down the main straight. We've got a decent amount of battery to deploy. We might be in a position to make a move into turn 1. And this time, I hope that we're not going to miss the braking point and go straight on. But here we are. Look at this, gaining on Max Verstappen as we head down into turn 1. Up the inside. Nice and late on the brakes. This time we don't go straight on. A little bit deep. But we've got the lead of the race. We'll take that. We'll take that. We were, I don't know if you remember, last season leading the race and we got an engine failure. So fingers crossed nothing like that happens today. But yeah, now we just got to keep in behind. That's going to be difficult. The Red Bull's ridiculously fast, especially in a straight line.
Okay, be aware, the grip levels are going to start falling away soon.
Lap 18 then, and Max Verstappen is in the pit lane, as is Lando Norris. We decided we're going to box the next lap to react to that, and in we come for a set of hard tyres. Max about 22.5 seconds away. A bit early on the turn-in. Should be good enough, hopefully. Hard tyres on.
Okay, that was a fairly decent stop, well within the times we expected.
And off we go. Max Verstappen then is just coming down the main straight.
Stop now. That was our last stop.
It's going to be close. Here he comes. There we are on the pit exit. He's obviously carrying a lot more speed than we are. We try to stick to the inside line, but he is going to go past and tuck in behind. So we've unfortunately lost the lead in that pit stop, but we have got a lap fresher tyres. That might help us later on. A big gap now though, isn't he? On to lap 21 though, and we've got that gap down on the grass there as we go to the outside, trying to make the overtake. Max is just to the left. He's not giving this one up too easily, is he? We push him wide. We've gone off the track. Big tank slapper there. We're going to have to give that place back. Are we? We should. We're still fighting this one, but Max is just about ahead. And we're going to send it down the inside. I don't know if that quite counts as giving the place back, but we did let him through. We let him go past, got a nose ahead at least. So the FIA haven't said anything about it, so we'll take it and we will run. 0.6 seconds the gap now onto lap 22, or end of lap 22. Heading out the final corner. We've spun round, and Max Verstappen into the back. Well, into the front of us. 5-second penalty for that. Safety car's out. And we're going to go into the pit lane. We've just come out the pit lane with fresh tyres, but now we've got wing damage. Here's what happened then. So, I guess Max just parting on the pressure. And it just got a little bit too much. And here he comes. Just a little bit. Ah, round we go. Max just couldn't get out of the way. From that angle, there goes Lando Norris as well, who's also found himself out of the race. Here's Carlos is on board. He did very well to avoid this. He can't even see Max there, look. And he does get out of the way. Here's Lando. He definitely could have got out of the way. And here's Max is on board. I think he definitely could have avoided this. Look, we go. You can see we go. He could have gone to the left there. But he could have sorted it out. Is what it is, I suppose.
Okay, we've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track. A safety car is being deployed.
So the safety car's out. We're in the pit lane, and our team, they weren't expecting us.
There, mate. We're delighted with that.
They weren't expecting us, and they've put on the old set of hards that we just mediums that we just come off. There's no way we're going to get to the end of the Grand Prix on those, so we're going to come back in again for another pit stop. That's 3 pit stops we've made in this race. And we've got significant wing damage.
Perfect job on the turn in there, mate.
Significant wing damage. The car is all over the place, to be honest. Safety car in this lap.
Safety car in this lap. Safety car in this lap. Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature. And remember, there's no overtaking until
you
the
can
timing
see
line.
how
Stay
skatey that is.
green flags.
As we're just trying to warm up our tyres and we nearly lose the back end as the safety car's coming in. Not ideal. But, yeah. Bit of a controversial one there. Terrible weekend for Red Bull. Max is out. Sergio's out. I think Max could have avoided us there, to be honest. But what can you do? Sainz has gone then, leading the field away. Charles Leclerc finds himself in P2 of all places. Is he going to go for it? Esteban is going for it down into turn 1. Is he going to make this stick? It looks like it. He's going for the lead here, but he's got wing damage, which means at the end of this lap, he will go into the pit lane. That's unfortunate because he could have been on for a win there with the circumstances. But here we are then at the back of the field. Stroll and Ricciardo having a bit of a ding-dong. We're going to squeeze our way through wheel to wheel with Lance Stroll. Are we going to get through? Just about, it looks like. Ricciardo. Oh.
Brilliant. Nice
Ricciardo
move.
on the
Keep
soft
going.
tyres. Look how slidey this car is. It's like it's on ice skates with the damaged rear wing. So we're having to go so slow through most of the lap. And it looks like Stroll's had a big problem there. Look, he's going very slow down the main straight. And he's out. He's out of this race. Unfortunate. Anyway, on to lap 33. We did get past Ricciardo. And we've now just got past Nicolas Latifi and potentially Robert Schwartzman as well. We take those. Up into P12. Maybe. Just maybe. There's what? 3 laps left. And feeling a little bit defeated at that point. And then everybody starts going slow. There's a big fat train here. We've just caught up to them. We go past Gasly. Having a little look at Alonso. Not quite in the right space to do that.
Mate, that brings you up a place.
And off we go. P10's right there. And here's what happened. Here's why everybody was going slow. So Kevin Magnussen, watch him closely. Got the 2 cars in front. He comes through and he just smashes into the back of Vettel's rear wing. And, yeah, deletes his front wing, essentially. So then catches everybody behind. On the final lap, though, trying to sneak it past Alonso. That's not really worked out, unfortunately. Off the track we go. Not really gaining any advantage. So, that was Schumacher, sorry, not Alonso. We're going to get past him now, aren't we? Up the inside. Lovely. Hamilton up next. Don't think we're going to catch Hamilton, but I'll take a P8 after the race we've had. It's still points. Points that Max is not scoring today. And here's your race winner. Carlos Sainz is going to win the Mexican Grand Prix in that Ferrari after I smack talked them earlier saying they haven't been maximising their car. Today they have. And a big lead as well, 8.8 seconds. Charles Leclerc, though, in the Alfa Romeo, finds himself on the podium, as does Yuki Tsunoda. What a strange race. What a strange race that was. P8, it's points. It could have gone better, let's face it, but it could have gone a lot worse too.
That's a fantastic performance from Ferrari. It hardly looked in doubt. So, Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there.
Wow, what a Grand Prix that was. Wow, Charles Leclerc on the podium in second place. Yuki Tsunoda as well in the AlphaTauri. And Carlos Sainz taking it home for Ferrari. And after the massive spin and shunt we had with Max Verstappen coming back to get points, I did not expect that. We take those though, and it does mean that the championship will close out in Brazil. We haven't won it yet. Still got work to do. Can we win it? It'll be our last race ever for Alpine in Brazil, and potentially our first ever Drivers' World Championship. It's going to be interesting. Alex Albon found himself in P6. Sebastian Vettel in P4. The whole grid with that safety car completely switched things up, because of course it happened right around the pit stop phase. So yeah, it was an interesting one. Red Bull, a weekend to forget. Max Verstappen and Sergio both out of the Grand Prix. Lando Norris also getting involved in our accident, and Lance Stroll with a mechanical failure. So yeah, a mixed up race, a mixed up result. 8 points the gap then between myself and Max Verstappen in the championship. It all comes down to Brazil. It's a sprint round, so it's going to be the ultimate showdown for the championship. What can we do? Can we bring it back? I hope we can, but we'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. Sergio's in this as well, only 14 points to gap. I think Red Bull have probably got this sewn up in terms of the constructors, but we'll find out next time. Join me in Brazil for that one. If you like this video, leave us a like. Drop us a little comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you for the Season 2 finale in Brazil.